Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope you people are doing well. Today we are going to learn how to make this new design lunch bag. This lunch bag, I call it envelope lunch bag. So today I'm going to put you through on how to cut and sew this trendy lunch bag. But before I do that, I want to appreciate you, my returning subscribers. And if you are stopping by for the first time, please do me a favor to subscribe and don't forget to put on the notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video, you will be notified about it. So without taking your time, let's go to the video. Okay, these are the materials we are going to use for this tutorial. I've already cut everything out. I'm going to explain to you what I did here. So I have with me my leather, my zip head. I'm using this zip head for this tutorial. I have my zip cloth, and also I'm using this badge for my lunch bag. I have my foam and my lining. So I'm going to give you the measurements of all this my leather that I've cut out. Here I have with me 29 inches by 5.5 inches leather, and I've already shaped the up, just shape it a little. So this one is for the two sides and for the base. So I have another one here, another leather again here, that is 7.75 inches by 16.25 inches. This is for the front. Then I have this one 9.5 inches by 7.75 inches. This is for the back. So I have inner pocket. I cut it in lining. So it's 9.25 by 5.5 inches. I'm using it to form inner pocket. Then I have another lining here that I cut two pieces, and this one I'm using it for the front cover. As we go progress in this tutorial, you will see what I will use it for. So the measurement of this front cover lining is 7.25 inches by 9.25 inches, and I have two pieces. By the time I sew it together, I will trim the excess I have on the second lining. And I've also cut foam for everything. I've cut foam, and the handle, what I have here is 1.5 inches by 11 inches for the handle, and I have two pieces. So now I'm going to keep everything aside. We are going to start our sewing. So first we are going to start with this our front. So I'm going to sew my zip to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the lining for the front. This is the lining. Then I'll put my zip cloth. I'll put my zip cloth. The wrong side of my zip cloth will face my lining. Then I will put my leather. I'll place my leather. This front leather, I forgot to explain to you. I also shaped one side. I shaped it a little. I just curve it a little at this point. So I will put it here and stitch it round. If you cannot stitch it together with the lining, you can stitch only the leather and the zip together first. After stitching the leather and the zip together, they will be like this. Then you place your lining on the zip side and also stitch it round. Then after stitching it round, I will bring it and show you how to turn it. Then for this base and the side, I'm going to bring the lining. This is the lining for it. I'll put the foam inside. Remember, when you are making anything that you are using foam, your foam is going to be less in size. You will not cut the exact size of the leather. You will reduce it because you will need allowance to sew. So as I placed it this way, I'm going to stitch it round. with my foam inside. See it? So I will stitch it round. That's what I'm going to do to this now. So for this my handle, I will put it wrong side facing each other. I will use my 1-inch belt and tape it this way and also this way. Okay, we are going to sew our logo to this our front leather. So from this point, I'm going to take like 3 inches, then I will place this my logo on it. In fact, I'm taking like 4 inches. I will take 4 inches. I'll place my logo this way, then I will stitch it, top stitch it on this leather. When you are top stitching, make sure that the space you have from here to here is the same with what you have from here to here. Centralize it very well, then I will top stitch it. Okay, I'm done taping my handle. This is what I have now. I've also sewn the base and the sides together. So the next thing I'm going to do now is that from this point I will measure 10 inches to sew my handle. From here also I measure 10 inches to sew my handle as my belt. That's what I'm going to do on this. I'll sew my belt on it, the longer belt on one side, the shorter belt on one side, but I'll measure 10 inches. So I'm done sewing it. This is it. You can see this is lining, this is leather, the zipper cloth is inside. So the next now is we turn it to the right side. So I'm going to take it to my machine now. We'll push it this way and top stitch it round. Okay, I'm done top stitching on it. You can see that it has relaxed now. I've also fixed my zip head. Now is the time for us to insert our foam. You just insert your foam. Okay, now that we have fixed our foam inside, we are going to close here. Just top stitch on this place. So we'll keep this aside. We are working on this now. So for this my base now, what I'm going to do is from this point I will take 10 inches. I'll measure 10 inches. I'll mark it. This is my 10 inches here. From this point also I'll measure 10 inches. I'll also mark it. So now that I've marked my 10 inches, I'll put my belt in my adjuster this way. Then you will fold in a little here. You fold it in like 1/4 inch. Place it on that 10 inches point, like I just did. This is what I will have now. So the allowance you have from here to here should be equal with from here to here. Then you arrange your belt and stitch it down. So on this side you are going to sew your long belt. You just fold in like 1/4 inch, place it on that 10 inches point, centralize it very well and stitch. Stop at from up here to here, you measure like 2 inches. That's where you will stop. The same thing is what you will do on this side. So okay, now for this front cover, I'm going to, this is one of the lining. I cut 2 pieces of lining for it. I'll put my foam inside, place the second lining inside. This lining is excess, but this is the correct size. So when I'm done sewing, I'll trim off the excess on the other one. So, or to be on the safe side, you put your lining and lining together, tape it with your belt, your bias belt. I'm going to tape this up with my bias belt. After taping it, I will now insert my foam inside and stitch it round. That's what I'm going to do for this. Okay, I'm done sewing my belt to the body. This is what I have. So the next thing is that you will fold it together this way to notch the midpoint. So once you get the midpoint, I'm going to pipe it with this my cord. I will start my piping from this notch point. I will pipe it round till I get to this notch point. That's what I'm going to do now. Okay, we are going to fold this into two this way. Fold it into two and get your midpoint. So you will notch it. Then you fold this one also into two. This is the back. You pick the back leg and fold it into two. Okay, now that we are done notching it, you put it right side facing each other. Make sure that the notch points are together. Then you also bring your lining. This is my lining. You put the right side of your lining this way. So you stitch. After stitching it, you flip it over and also top stitch on it. So you can see I'm done stitching it together with my front, the back and front together. You move it this way together with this. You see it has concealed this stitch like roughness here. So as you move it now, to start with, after stitching it together, if you have excess, like as I do, I have excess here now. You can see I've chopped it. I will trim it off. The same thing is what I did here. Just press it down, spread it very well, and mark your excess so that you can be able to trim it off. So I will trim off my excess. Then I will now move it this way. I move it this way. Insert my foam inside it. I will insert my foam and stitch it down. That's what I'm going to do now. So this is what I have now after joining the back to the front and stitching it round. So I'm going to sew the inner pocket to it. So I just place it on it this way. See what I did? Just place it and stitch it down. That's what I'm going to do now. Okay, I'm done stitching the inner pocket. This is what I have. So the next thing now is you are going to fold it this way and notch the midpoint. When you notch the midpoint, you bring it and put it right side facing each other. Match the midpoint together and stitch it round on this side and base. Stitch it as you stitch, you arrange as you stitch until you stitch everything together. Before you stitch anything, measure what you have from here to this point. From this midpoint, measure it round to this midpoint. What you have here should be exactly what you have in this one. You have to confirm it before you stitch. So if anyone is excess, you will make the adjustment before you stitch. So I'm going to stitch it round now. Okay, I'm done sewing it round. So you can see at this base I have excess here, I have excess here. The excess you have here should be equal with what you have here. If not, when you stand your lunch bag, it will be bending one side this way. So I'm going to trim off here and also here. Then I will open up my lunch bag. So when you open this lunch bag, this is how it will be. If you don't put anything here, the food flaps will be falling off. So that is why we made this. So I'm going to put this here now. You just put it here and stitch it round. That's what I'm going to do now. So I'm done sewing it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to tape my bag round. I'll take it to my machine and use my belt to tape it round, and our bag will be ready. You just tape the rough edges round. So this is what I have now after taping it. I'm done taping it. So we're going to turn our bag to the right side. So now that we have turned it to the right side, this is the time for us to indicate where to sew the handle. You know, we have not sewn the handle, so you indicate the middle here and sew your handle. So that's what I'm going to do. I will indicate the middle and sew my handle here. So once I'm done with this, our bag is ready. So this is our lunch bag now. This is it, very beautiful. You can see how it is. By the time you open it, this is what it will look like. Have you seen the front cover? So thank you for watching.